I deployed to Afghanistan in the summer of 2008 as an infantry platoon leader in 3rd Brigade, 1st Infantry Division. I was motivated to join the military by my father. Growing up, he taught myself and my brothers that it was part of our family duty to serve our country. And so as I was looking at my options of service, I decided to pursue a college education because I wanted to be an officer in the United States Army. And I was fortunate enough to be accepted into the United States Military Academy at West Point, where I started in 2002, after completing high school. I was injured in September of 2008 after another platoon in my company was ambushed. They requested assistance, and so I left the area that I was securing with my platoon, and we took a few vehicles up to go support that fight. And as soon as we got into what we call an engagement area, basically in the middle of the ambush, my vehicle hit a roadside bomb, which is also called an improvised explosive device. And it was in that moment that I was ignited on fire, and so 3 others in the vehicle were injured, and we lost Private Vincent Winston that day.
My full name is Ryan Christopher Parrott. They call me Birdman, and I was in the United States Navy. I was in Iraq in 2005, and we hit a roadside bomb or an IED, and it blew me high order, blew me into the sky. And so when I landed on my feet and I hit the ground, everybody knew that I went for a flight. So because in the military you never get a nickname for doing something cool, I got Birdman. About a year and a half ago, I met a gentleman named Sam Brown. He's a retired Army captain, and we talked about his wounds and what he had gone through. And I was in a similar situation, but obviously I didn't endure wounds tremendous. So with that being said, I said, what are they doing for you guys today? And we talked through the process, and I started doing a little more research online, and I couldn't find much. And then I thought about it, and I said, you know what? We promote, soldiers that are losing limbs. We can fix a gunshot wound, but what are they doing for burns? And so at that point, I was just flustered. And so I decided, you know what? We're going to do something about this. So January 2012, I got the greatest guys that I've met in my life together. And I said, this is what we're looking to accomplish. We're starting a foundation for burns to help people. And initially we started with the military. And a resounding 100% yes. Every single person on our team said, I'm in. So we became Sons of the Flag in January 2012.
I heard just recently from a friend that what the Sons of the Flag was. It was raising revenue, funding for our burn victims, our soldiers, our Marines, our SEALs, not only our combat veterans, but non-combat veterans that are severely burned or burned as a result of military action overseas. Just to let those people know that we just don't talk. Talk is cheap. We're doing something for them. And we want them to know what we're doing. And you know what they owe us in return? Nothing. Just continue to be good Americans. And we're going to help you.
So Legacy Jump, or Skydive, is an event that I've been planning for the last 2 years. And basically, I think skydiving is the most amazing thing in the world. That's our playground up there. And so I said, you know what would be cool is to have a jumper from a couple different wars jump together. And about a year and a half ago, it kind of developed into, I want a jumper from every war. And I never, ever, ever thought that this was actually going to happen. It was just a fun thing to plan around. And sure enough, when we created Sons of the Flag Burn Foundation, we said, you know, we're doing this. We want to make it iconic. We want to show people that we're not just a nonprofit, that we're here to help a couple people. We're going above and beyond in everything we do.
My name is Samuel Brown, and I served in the United States Army from 2006 until 2011. I'm jumping with the Legacy Jump because it's a very special opportunity to spend time and do something that is literally probably a once-in-a-lifetime event. partnering with the Golden Knights and being with veterans who have defended our country everywhere from the Middle East to Europe and in the Far East.
Okay, my name is John Walters III, and I was a firefighter since 1986, and I retired at a Rescue Company No. 1 in Manhattan, New York.
My name is Tom Bunning, and I served in the United States Army. I was a company commander in Desert Shield and Desert Storm, and then later on had the opportunity to serve in Bosnia, which was Operation Joint Guard, in the post-Bosnian conflict.
My name is Mark Daniel Waddell. I served in the United States Navy, specifically in the United States Navy SEAL teams, for 25 years, and I retired as a commander.
My full name is Anthony Bandiera. My friends call me Tony. You may call me Tony. And I was in the Army. I was in Special Forces, and I worked on 7th Special Forces Group, and I worked with the 5th Special Forces Group while I was in Vietnam. And
Richard S. Agnew, A-G-N-E-W. I go by Dick, however. I served in the United States Army and paratroops, and also with the U.S. Army Rangers, and was an instructor for 2 years with the U.S. Army Rangers at their Jungle and Amphibious Warfare Center in Eglin Air Force Base, Florida.
My name is Peter Bielskas. I was with the 8th Air Force 384th Bomb Group out of England in 1945, World War II. I was in the service approximately 18 months, and then till the end of the war, and I was discharged. I just hope that this will draw some attention around the country to show them that the veterans are in need of medical conditions or physical conditions taken care of. People forget real fast, and I think that this is one of the things that maybe would open up some eyes to let people know what's going on. Because they forget real fast. If it don't affect them, they don't pay much attention.
So we developed it to have World War II, Vietnam, Korea, Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan. And we brought New York Fire into it as well. The reason we brought New York Fire is because you never forget. You never forget. And a lot of soldiers have been to war based off of that. We always got to make sure that we remember who we are as a country.
When I look back on 9/11, well, first off, it was a Tuesday, and we were up kind of late because of Monday Night Football. And, you know, I got a phone call in the morning to tell me what was going on, and turned on the TV and basically got out of bed and went to work. And felt like I didn't go home from work for about 6 months after that. I worked in a firehouse in Queens, New York. We lost 19 members that day, which I think was the single most loss of life out of one firehouse in the entire city. It's not something that I usually talk about. I wear a bracelet on my right hand every day, and that's my remembrance of it. And I try to keep the, I guess you would say, the memories and the stories and all that to a minimum, just because of the loss of life and you know, people that I used to work with that aren't here anymore. I have an office in my house, and I don't let people into it. I'm not really big on medals and ribbons and accommodations and all that kind of stuff, but I do have a picture of the guys that I lost during 9/11. I have a picture of each one of them with a saying, and my original captain that started my company where I worked at the time, in Latin, it basically says, "Fortune favors the brave," or the bold, however you want to say it. I look at that every day and realize that those guys are not here anymore, and there's nothing that I can ever do to bring them back, and there's nothing I can even do to honor them, but a little bit here and a little bit there goes a long way. I honored one of them. I just had a newborn son that turned 6 months yesterday. His middle name is Joseph, after one of the guys that I used to work with. Huge deal to the parents, big deal to them. And when you lose somebody, military, firefighters, the same deal. They're not forgotten. So to be able to do this in honor of everybody else, 343 guys that were lost that day, big, big.
I consider it a very, very honorable question. I feel very honored that I should be asked to participate, because not everybody is asked to do this. And it gives me a good, clean, social, religious feeling that I'm doing something that over and above, which I've always tried to do. This is something new that I didn't know about. And I've been asked to participate in this endeavor. And they have my 110%.
I'm jumping out of that airplane. It's going to be my 1,004th jump. And I'm doing it. So whether I meet the ground at a high rate of impact or I have a soft landing, I'm doing it because if it brings attention to the new world that veterans with who need to discover new abilities, if it comes to me simply jumping out of an airplane, I mean, gravity works for anybody, right? So I'm just going to jump out and let gravity work. You don't have to be a rocket scientist for to jump out of an airplane. But if it brings attention to it, I'll jump out of that airplane in a pink tutu to bring attention to this incredible cause that we're representing today, to Sons of the Flag, to advancing burn technology, to bringing awareness to people who may not know that this is a challenge that exists out there.
Well, it means I'm going to have an extremely huge adrenaline rush here in a couple of days. Leading up to it, I can tell you that my resting pulse rate will probably go up too. And that's just the pure excitement of jumping out of a plane. Haven't done that before. I know that it's always leading up to it, there's a little bit of anxiety, and as you hit the ground, there's certainly relief. But what it really means for me is an opportunity to reach out with both hands and join arms with those that have come before and those that have continued after me. So that's going to be special.
The Legacy Jump is an incredibly inspired event that Ryan Parrott dreamed up. It's honestly cannot think of too many occasions in which I've been in the presence of veterans from World War II to current. So to have all of these veterans together in one place and then doing something as significant and symbolic as jumping, which for many of us is something that we did during our service to the country, is incredibly inspiring, and I think it's a symbol of conquering and an achievement that, despite the experiences that most of us have had, we can rise above all of that, and with the support of a great country and community, we can do incredible things. Whether it's the current war in Afghanistan, all the way back to World War II, these veterans can continue to give back in a meaningful way.
It means everything. This jump's probably more exciting than the first jump I ever made in jump school. I'm not as scared of this jump as I was the first jump I ever made, or my second one, but it's going to be a historical event. I don't think this has ever been tried before, much less ever accomplished. So it all remains to be seen what happens on the 17th, and the way it's set up. It's going to be extremely exciting. Great jumpers coming, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Afghanistan, Iraq, firemen from New York. It's going to be magnificent.
In different causes with soldiers. for the injured, for their families. These are things that we can do every single day. And it feels good to help a soldier out because they've helped us out so much. And it's not just soldiers, firefighters, the same thing. They go into blazing buildings every day. And they deserve our support and our love. So do civilians. Many different ways that soldiers can help, that civilians can help, anybody can help for Sons of the Flag is to make us aware of people that have been burned. Get us in touch with them. Want to hear their stories, want to learn from them. This can't be done by one team, it has to be done by an entire country. And we're going to try every step we can, but we need people to bring this message out to the public and bring burn survivors back to us. Raise awareness, raise funds so we can keep this process going to close case to continue on our mission.